At my own promotion party, my boss shockingly announced my new coworker's promotion instead. I smiled and celebrated with them until everything stunned. The restaurant crackled with tension. Cheers erupted, glasses stunned, and an eerie silence fell. Golden fairy lights dangled ominously from the ceiling, their warm glow illuminating the long dining table where my coworkers and I sat, caught in a moment of celebration that felt all too fleeting. Tonight was meant to be unforgettable, my moment in the spotlight. For 5 long years I sacrificed everything for this company, endless late nights, tackling the messes others avoided, and guiding newcomers despite it not being my duty. For months, Martin, my boss, had been dropping hints, teasing me with the promise that I was next in line for the senior manager position. And tonight, at this very party, my promotion will be revealed. This moment had played out in my mind 1,000 times, but nothing could prepare me for the reality. The thunderous applause, the swelling pride, the bittersweet validation. I tugged at the hem of my navy blue dress, my eyes darting around the table, tension thick in the air. My team was elated, reveling in the shocking triumph of the company's quarterly success. At the head of the table, Martin rose, the sharp clink of his wineglass against a fork slicing through the air, demanding silence. Silence fell like a heavy curtain. My heart raced, teetering on the edge of chaos. This night? He started, his voice booming above the chaos. Let us pause to acknowledge a remarkable individual whose astonishing dedication, relentless drive, and extraordinary talent have emerged in a mere blink of time at this company. In just 3 months, a force emerges, leaving an unforgettable mark. My smile stunned. 3 months. Martin spun around to face my coworker, Sophia. Sophia, the new recruit, arrived with a storm. Sophia, he declared, you have stunned every expectation we had. In a stunning turn of events, your remarkable leadership, creativity, and problem-solving skills have left us all in awe. It is with great excitement that I announce your promotion to senior manager. Congratulations. Can you believe it? Applause thundered through the room. I was paralyzed. My fingers tightened around the stem of my champagne glass, a storm brewing within. My throat constricted, a smile plastered on my face, a mask for the turmoil within. I clapped with the crowd, heart racing as Sophia rose, crimson-faced, to accept her shocking new title. This can't be real. My world tilted as Martin turned, a flicker of recognition igniting the air between us. His grin was unsettling. And of course, Elena, you've been an invaluable asset to the team, he declared. Your efforts are truly valued. It was over. A chilling recognition. A mere pat on the back after 5 grueling years of toil. I choked back the fear and forced a smile that felt like a mask. Absolutely, Sophia deserves it, I declared, raising my glass in a toast. Martin's nod was laden with unspoken approval. She surpasses you in ways you can't even imagine, Elena. Take notes, it's crucial. Silence stunned. Sophia's laughter hung in the air, a nervous whisper escaping her lips. Oh, I wouldn't say that. But the words were unleashed, suspended in the air like a brutal blow to my soul. I joined their laughter, but inside, a storm brewed. What more is there left for me? Weep? Implore? Confront him? Why drag me through months of deceit, only to shatter my dignity? Instead, I raised my glass to my lips and savored the moment with a deliberate sip. As darkness fell, a smile crept across my face. I spoke. I reveled. A tempest raged within. As the party drew to a close, I burst into the cool night air, my phone trembling in my hand. My fingers quaked as I typed a brief, chilling email to HR. Subject, a farewell letter. Submission. Martin, I am resigning. Please see the attached letter. Effective now. Yours, Elena. In a heartbeat, I pressed send, the weight of my choice crashing down. The moment the email vanished from my outbox, I gasped for air. After years of numbness, a jolt of feeling surged through me, shocking my very core. Unbelievable relief. But I had only just begun. On Monday, Martin was about to discover the terrifying consequences of underestimating the wrong individual. That Monday morning, the office was charged with an unsettling energy. I stepped through the front doors. A wave of realization hit me, my resignation letter poised like a dagger in Martin's inbox. He was blissfully unaware of the storm approaching. At first glance, all appeared normal. But beneath the surface, chaos lurked. The receptionist's smile was blinding, masking the chaos beneath. My coworkers huddled near the break room, whispers swirling like dark clouds over their morning coffee. Sophia sat at her desk, the thrill of her shocking promotion still electrifying her senses. Anger was not what I felt for Sophia. She was innocent, yet the world turned against her. The true menace lurked in the corner office. He deceived me for months, pretending I mattered, then tossed me aside as if I were trash. I lingered, placing my bag beside the desk, then booting up my computer with a sense of foreboding. I craved Martin's presence, a desperate longing that consumed me. Suddenly, the office door burst open. Elena! My office now. At this very moment. Silence engulfed the entire floor. Eyes darted, fear palpable in the air. Martin's voice pierced the silence, a chilling revelation that left everyone stunned. Time is running out, the company was in turmoil, hope is fading. I rose, my heart pounding, straightened my blouse, and stepped into his office. The door slammed shut, sealing my fate. Martin sat at his desk, the resignation letter glaring back at him. He glanced up, eyes darting across my face, searching for signs of a joke. You're really leaving? His voice trembled with disbelief. Absolutely. I sat down across from him, hands trembling in my lap. Effective now. But why? This is utterly unexpected. We never talked about this. I released a quiet chuckle. We never talked about Sophia's promotion, yet here we stand. His jaw clenched, a storm brewing beneath the surface. Elena, it was never about you. She eclipsed you completely. She's been here for 3 months, I whispered, my head tilting in disbelief. But of course, if that's what you truly think. Martin leaned forward, tension crackling in the air. Do you truly understand how much I value you? For 5 years, your presence has been nothing short of pivotal to this company. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I gazed at him, stunned by the boldness of his words. Are you really willing to let me go? I repeated, my eyebrow arching in disbelief. Yet, you easily dismissed me for a promotion I toiled for years to earn. You found joy in my humiliation at my own celebration. How cruel. So you had no issue instructing me to take notes from a newcomer? His expression twisted, the smug confidence shattering like glass. Look, he said, his hand raking through his hair, a storm brewing in his eyes. I might have just sealed my fate. I should have done it another way. But you're just quitting, just like that? This is a grave mistake, Elena. Your heart is leading you into chaos. I smiled, yet it was a hollow gesture. I sent that email on Friday night, Martin. If it were merely emotion, I would have fled that very night. Yet I did not. This was all part of my plan. I'm departing, and it's my choice alone. His hand clenched into a fist on the desk, trembling with fury. He had never faced defeat before. What's your move? He demanded, his voice cutting through the silence. Seek out our rivals, Elena. Remember, we have non-compete agreements in place. I laughed once more. He was utterly oblivious. I don't need a competitor, I declared, rising to my feet. Martin, while you turned a blind eye to my efforts, someone else took notice. His expression darkened. What are you implying? I inhaled sharply, savoring the intensity of the moment. Do you recall Daniel Carter? The CFO you dismissed last year? Martin's muscles coiled like a spring. He would never forget. Andrew, once the crown jewel of the company, found himself at odds with Martin one too many times. Martin had cast him aside, believing he was easily forgotten. Months ago, Andrew's message stunned the silence. I pressed on. He's launching his own firm, and he's chosen me to head the operations department, a director-level role. Can you believe it? I rejected him initially. I stood by this company unwavering. I leaned in, my voice dropping to a whisper. But Friday night stunned it all. I dialed his number the moment I stepped out of the party, and he repeated the shocking offer. I agreed. Silence. A void, heavy and suffocating. Raw, unadulterated astonishment. Martin's gaze pierced through me, as if he were grappling with a revelation too staggering to comprehend. You're really leaving for Andrew's company? He finally spoke, his voice strained. It all begins next Monday. I have confirmed. He gasped, then fell silent, releasing a sharp breath. Elena, think clearly. 5 years this company has been your home. Something must be done. We can discuss. I refuse to engage. I cut him with precision. This decision is irrevocable. His jaw tightened, a storm brewing within. There's no turning back now. I smiled, but the darkness loomed behind me. I refused to. I spun around, heading for the door. Just before I stepped out, I hesitated, heart racing. Do you realize, Martin? I uttered, glancing back. It's astonishing how you grasp the value of a person only when they vanish from your life. I stepped out, slamming the door shut, abandoning him to face the fallout of his choices. It was exhilarating. As I emerged from Martin's office, a chilling silence enveloped me, every gaze piercing through the air. The open workspace fell into a haunting silence. The familiar Monday morning chatter vanished, swallowed by an oppressive silence. My coworkers had completely abandoned the facade of productivity. Heads emerged from the shadows of cubicle walls. Eyes averted the moment our gazes collided. They sensed the chaos lurking beneath the surface. In mere moments, the truth would be laid bare before them. I approached my desk, heart racing, and with a single click, unleashed my resignation letter upon the entire leadership team. Topic: Resignation submitted. The end has come. Effective immediately, I am resigning from my position at the company. This experience will haunt me forever. Unbelievable. Elena, so simple yet so profound. Expert. The truth was unmistakable. I was finished. In mere seconds, the first whisper slithered across the floor. Then another one struck. Then another one fell. The wildfire erupted. It wasn't long before a figure emerged from the shadows, drawing near. Elena, is it really true? As I turned, there she was, Jessica, the rare soul I dared to trust in this treacherous realm. She was utterly shocked. I nodded, a fleeting smile crossing my lips. It's time to leave everything behind. She gasped, her head shaking in disbelief. Incredible. Only. Incredible. I understand, but it's hard to swallow. I never believed you would truly walk away. Martin didn't either. I whispered darkly. She emitted a chilling sound, part laughter, part disdain. He's a complete fool. It's clear to all, you are meant for that promotion. More coworkers slinked toward my desk, feigning busyness while their ears strained to catch every word. Even Sophia peeked from across the room, her eyes flickering between me and Martin's office, caught in a whirlwind of guilt and relief. Her hesitation was palpable. She stood on the edge, words clawing at her throat. Yet she chose not to. And truthfully, I was beyond caring. Just 10 minutes later, as I gathered my final belongings, my inbox erupted with a frantic meeting request from Martin. Topic: Critical. We need to talk now. Urgent meeting request. 15 minutes. The clock ticks ominously. Place of reckoning. The place where everything changes. I gazed at the email, breath caught, before letting out a heavy sigh. Desperate men resort to the unthinkable. I lingered on my way back to his office. As I crossed the threshold, the door whispered shut, sealing my fate. Martin was unrecognizable now. The audacity? Vanished. The audacity? Vanished. Instead, he appeared as if he had just uncovered a monumental error, one that could change everything. Elena, he began, his voice low and intense. We need to discuss this now. This choice is reckless. I released a quiet chuckle. Martin, I sacrificed 5 years for this. Your decision was the only reckless one here. His lips formed a grim, unyielding line. I messed up the promotion, but we can still turn this around. I'll outbid whatever Andrew's throwing your way. I tilted my head, a sudden chill coursing through me. You have no idea what Andrew is proposing. Does it even matter anymore? He fired a shot in retaliation. We will find a way no matter the cost. I can secure you a higher salary, greater flexibility, perhaps even. I raised my hand, silencing him instantly. Do you even understand the gravity of this? Silence. A void, heavy and suffocating. I leaned in, heart racing. It was never about the money. It was always something deeper, something darker lurking beneath the surface. It was all about respect. Nothing more, nothing less. His jaw clenched tightly. I refuse to remain in a place where my efforts are overlooked until I dangle the possibility of departure. I refuse to be matched at the brink of departure. If I held no worth to you then, what makes you think I do now? Martin's nostrils flared, a silent storm brewing within. He had never faced the horror of losing control of the conversation. Elena, think clearly. You're turning your back on security for what? A startup teetering on the edge of failure? I smiled, but the darkness loomed behind me. That startup is led by someone who truly values my input. I choose to gamble on myself over remaining in a place that sees me as expendable. I rose. Farewell, Martin. And just like that, I turned and left. It was surreal, packing the last of my things. As I trudged to the elevator with my box, a few coworkers offered faint applause, a whisper of recognition for my quiet triumph. They were aware. Sophia, frozen at her desk, suddenly found the strength to rise and approach me. Elena, I had no idea. I arched an eyebrow, disbelief etched across my face. What was unknown? Her mouth gaped, then snapped shut. She was aware. She always knew. She didn't pull the strings, yet she thrived on my downfall. It's over, Sophia. I spoke, my voice steady yet piercing. Embrace the unexpected twist of fate. She recoiled, but I had already vanished into the elevator. As the door slammed shut, I took a deep breath, steadying myself. This was the beginning of something unimaginable. It all started here. The Monday after I stormed out of Martin's office for the final time, I faced a sleek glass building, the weight of my new beginning crashing down on me. Carter and Associates. Andrew's company, a mere shadow of my former one, throbbed with an electrifying intensity and fierce ambition. The crowd buzzed with energy, each person a creator, not mere cogs in a machine crafted by another's hand. I crossed the threshold, a surge of emotions crashing over me like a tidal wave. Thrilling anticipation. Never again will I fade into the background. Enough of the neglect. Martin is gone. As I ascended in the elevator, my reflection in the gleaming doors transformed, bolder, more vibrant, almost unrecognizable. This was a life-altering moment. This was liberation. The instant I crossed the threshold of my new office, a space with towering windows and a door that sealed me away, I felt an undeniable certainty I had chosen wisely. Introductions, meetings, onboarding, yet something was off. This place was nothing like my old workplace. To begin with, they truly paid attention. In my first leadership meeting, Andrew's smile pierced through the tension. "Elena, you must take charge of our new initiative. We're tearing down the old and rebuilding from the ashes, and with your expertise, you are the only one who can lead this transformation." In an instant. No mercy. Enough of this endless struggle to validate my existence. They had always recognized my worth. I nodded, fighting the instinct to look around, wondering if this was a cruel game. "I'd love to," I declared, my heart racing. A handful of my new colleagues offered smiles of approval, but the tension hung thick in the air. Andrew nodded, a chilling acceptance etched on his face. This was the way it had to be. No mercy. Silence on the matter. Only respect. 2 days after my departure, the first crack appeared in Martin's company. A message from Jessica flashed on my phone, sending a jolt through me. "Jessica? Elena? Oh my God. Martin is unraveling. Since you vanished, the company was in turmoil." I smirked, yet my eyes remained glued to the page. "Jessica?" He was forced to summon an emergency meeting. Chaos erupted as no one could grasp the complexities of what you once managed. "Sophia's efforts? Just a facade. She does no more than you do. She's completely lost, unaware of the chaos she's causing." I burst into laughter. Absolutely. Martin's grave miscalculation. He believed in Sophia's strengths while dismissing my own. A second message arrived, sending chills down my spine. "Jessica, you won't believe this. 3 clients have already come forward, demanding you by name. The moment they discovered your departure, chaos erupted. A surge of satisfaction coursed through me. Years of being overlooked, Martin's betrayal cut deep. What now? He was finally confronting a truth he had long avoided. Some souls are irreplaceable. That fateful afternoon, as I pored over strategy documents in my new office, my assistant suddenly intruded. "Elena, line 1 is ringing, answer it now." Dawson and Company, a name that echoes with intrigue. They claim to have worked with you before and now demand a conversation about transferring their account. I guessed. Dawson and Company loomed large as one of the biggest clients at my old company. "Let them in," I commanded, my voice unwavering, though my heart raced wildly. In an instant, David Wilson's voice pierced the silence. Our CEO had arrived. "Elena," he whispered, a chilling warmth lacing his voice. "I heard you made the shocking leap to Carter and Associates. We need to talk now." I leaned back in my chair, a sinister smile creeping across my face. "Absolutely, Mark. What do you need from me?" In just 1 week, 3 major clients from my old company contacted me, all voicing the same shocking discontent. "Everything has changed since you walked away. We no longer trust that we're safe. Attention, Carter and Associates, we're ready to make a move." And thus they fell one after another. I was not taking clients. I had no choice. They walked away, placing their faith in me, not in the company I once served. And Martin? He was in a frantic rush. Jessica bombarded me with updates. "Jessica?" Sophia gasps for air, sinking beneath the surface. She's utterly unprepared for this role. This morning, Martin's furious voice echoed through the closed-door meeting, piercing the tension in the air. "Jessica, the board is seething over the devastating client losses. Investors are furious. Rumor has it, they're cornering Martin to make it right. Swift." The expression on his face was unimaginable. The terror. The crushing regret. But wait, there's more. I never meant to cause him pain. I was flourishing in another realm. That fateful Friday afternoon, as I wrapped up my day, my phone buzzed ominously with an email from Martin. I lifted an eyebrow and tore it open. Topic: a shocking proposal. Elena, we need to talk. Now. I'm convinced we can strike a deal that benefits us both. Are you ready? Let's meet next week and explore the possibilities. Anticipating your reply with bated breath. Martin. I leaned back in my chair, laughter escaping my lips like a whisper of madness. He was utterly desperate. For the first time in 5 years, I held all the power. It was electrifying. I gazed at Martin's email, the irony crashing over me like a tidal wave. The man who cast me aside without a second thought. The man who reveled in my humiliation. The man revealed that Sophia does far more than you can imagine. Now it was I who reached out. And I realized the truth in that moment. Everything he knew was crumbling to dust. I lingered, meticulously shaping my response. No urgency. The calm before the storm. No desperation. Just silence. Control has been calculated. The outcome is staggering. Topic: regarding this matter. A shocking proposal. Martin, I can meet for a quick discussion Monday at 10 a.m. Tell me if that fits your plans. Yours, Elena. I hit send, then slammed my laptop shut. I was walking into that meeting to confront the inevitable. I entered, ready to witness his torment. At exactly 10 a.m., I stepped back into the glass office building I had abandoned just weeks prior. Everything was transformed. The receptionist paused, her eyes wide with uncertainty before finally acknowledging my presence. Haunted by uncertainty, I lingered. Was I a guest or a specter of what once was? Employees' eyes darted, filled with unspoken secrets as I walked by. They all knew the truth, and it stunned everything. And then as I entered Martin's office, there he was. He was a sight to behold, utterly wretched. Haunting shadows beneath his gaze. He sat, a bundle of raw nerves. His fingers drummed anxiously against the desk, a storm brewing within. He had transformed, no longer the arrogant man who had once belittled me. Thanks for coming in, he said, his smile strained and brittle. I sank into the chair, legs crossed, hands trembling in my lap. Absolutely. What haunts your thoughts? He gasped and leaned in, the tension palpable. I refuse to squander your precious moments. Elena, we desperately need you back. I remained silent. Let the words linger, thick with irony, suffocating the silence. He pressed on, relentless. Your significance here was beyond my imagination. I confess that. Yet, redemption is within our grasp. Return, and I will unleash a staggering raise, a prestigious title, and absolute power over your domain. He leaned back, a smirk on his face as if he believed I would be awestruck. I was not. I tilted my head, a sudden jolt of realization striking me. Let me clarify this shocking twist. 5 years and you still failed to see my worth. 5 years to elevate me. 5 years to honor my craft. I paused, letting the weight of it settle before I moved on. Yet you chose someone with a mere 3 months of experience, leaving me to take notes on how to improve. The disappointment lingers. Now, after losing crucial clients and witnessing your downfall, you dared to offer me everything I was owed from the start. Martin's jaw clenched, a storm brewing within. Elena, please. This is urgent. I raised my hand, halting him in his tracks. Can I pose a question to you? What if I had never left? Would I still be trapped in this chair, questioning my choices? Was this offer born from genuine appreciation? Are you finally acting because your grip is slipping away? His silence screamed volumes. He attempted to hide it, but the truth was written in his eyes. The shocking truth. He never recognized my value. It all came crashing down. I released a quiet, chilling laugh. That's exactly what I believed. Martin's desperation stunned all boundaries. Elena, think carefully before you act. History haunts you here. A future unfolds. Are you truly willing to discard everything you fought for in this company? I smiled, but the darkness loomed closer. Martin, you really have no idea, do you? I rose, adjusting my blazer, and leaned in, tension crackling in the air. You were never necessary. You were desperate for me. And now the truth hits you. His expression twisted, but I caught a glimpse. The spark of terror in his gaze. I turned, my hand hovering over the doorknob, but froze just before crossing the threshold. Take notes, Martin. You must. I whispered, reflecting his own words with a haunting intensity. Perhaps next time you'll grasp the importance of those who truly keep your company alive. And then I stepped out, leaving everything behind. This time I forged ahead, leaving everything behind. At Carter and Associates, everything was unraveling. Our client roster exploded, nearly doubling overnight. Companies abandoned Martin's sinking ship, flocking to us instead. And then on a seemingly ordinary Friday afternoon, Jessica sent me a final update that left me in stunned laughter. Jessica, Martin has been abruptly dismissed. He was ousted by the board. They were stunned by the devastating client losses. I leaned back in my chair, coffee trembling in my hand. Flawless. Martin believed I could be easily swapped out. It was true all along. What about me? I stood precisely in my destined place.